Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the stream. I hope everyone is having a fantastic, wonderful day, as I always hope everyone is having a fantastic, wonderful day. Where's that button not working? Push the button, go. Wow, there we go. Hello, good evening. Hope it is also wonderful. We are going to do some more coding today, and I am going to try and update our project to Unity 6.1, which has just come out and might be completely broken, so I don't know if this is a good idea or not. But I'm gonna do it anyway. Because why not? Because you know, we deserve it. The irony is that this morning I actually updated to the latest version 6 LTS, which is pretty painless. You just update one, but because I thought I'll go to the latest version of it just to check that stuff isn't being bananas in my graphics thing. But I found a problem. I turned off burst compile ages ago, and I've been doing stuff that isn't burst compatible. So, but anyway, let's do this. Let's go here. Shrink me down over here, right? And we change 47 to use what supported. Ooh. So this was the one was on. I updated this. This is fine. This one on there. I have backed up. Don't worry, I have backed up. So, boop. I accept. I know it's Unity. It's fine. Yeah. Continue. Engine auto graphics API. Ooh, okay. Should possibly load it up Unity 6.1 first and have a look at like the default stuff that it does, because it might be easy to just, rather than update the project to that one, is create a new project in 6.1 with all the default settings and then import the project stuff into it, which I've actually found in the past to work better than updating the project. But we'll see how this goes. I have updated. I have backed up. Everything has been backed up. So we're good. We're good for that. Emble, hello. Enjoy your dinner. You made some good progress on dinner. Oh, it's awesome. Awesome. Okay. It's a doing stuff. I like how the project is the bit that remembers the layout for Unity, not the burst is currently compiling. You can see the error there with burst, and I know what that error is. As soon as it popped up, I was like, oh yeah. However, because of changes we've done, I can get around that, because we've completely changed the way the mesh generation system works. So it's not easy, but it's doable. Just gonna let burst finish doing its thing. You got 2 Switch 2s. Nice. I will buy a Switch. I'm just not. I will buy a Switch 2. I'm just not pre-ordering it or rushing for it or anything like that at all. Because within a month they'll be available to buy whenever. Where I work, I'll have them on the shelf and I'll get it with staff discount probably. Okay, so we've got one error, right? And that error is burst. I can't hit play. Oh, okay, all right. This is still working. Push 1. This is still working. 2, 3. Okay, it's a working. I hit space. it's working. Okay, so updating to Unity 6.1 was fine. Santi, hello, good evening. What has convinced me that the code must grow? The code must grow because the code currently doesn't do what I want the code to do. There isn't enough of the code to make the game work. So therefore the code must grow into the box that is the game, and then once the code is the size of the game, then it is good. So until that point, the code must grow. The code must grow. But it is possible that the code will outgrow the box, and then problems may occur. But we will see. And it is entirely possible the code will shrink at some point. But right now, the code must grow. And also, the code must change. Yeah. Yes, the code must grow in order to flourish. In order for the code to flower into the game, it must grow. We must feed the code. We must feed the code with the correct things, not the incorrect things, which is what I've done here. However, I know exactly what that is. That's shreds. Oh no, that's fine. Don't worry about error. Right. So let's us load the code. How do emulators work? I genuinely don't know. I assume they work in the same sort of way that old classic glide wrappers used to work for DirectX stuff. They take the code from the game and they rewrite the code dynamically to work on a different platform. That's my guess, which is the same way that, as I said, glide wrappers back in the late 90s used to work. You had DirectX games, you had a glide wrapper, and it would basically, yeah. It's yeah, that's my guess how emulators work. I guess they are running on one platform and telling the game that they're actually another platform and rewriting the code on the fly. So the game still thinks it's on a console and it's actually running on Windows. Yeah. No. Yeah. Your random question here. That's fine. That's fine. I have all the answers. They may not be to the questions you're asking, but I do have all the answers. Right. Okay. So the error that we had that now isn't showing up, which is quite funny, is all to do with in the placement system. Yeah, no, I do. I have all the answers. They may not be to the questions that you were asking. Okay, may not be to the questions that you were asking, but I do have all the answers. So this is the problem. This is the problem. We cannot pull a singleton mono behavior instance from an I system to do it there. So yeah. How does the emulator write the right cutter? Well, the emulator is written for another platform. So say, for instance, you're trying to make a console work on Windows. The emulator is written for Windows, and the emulator knows all the APIs for Windows. It also knows what all the API pointers are for the console. So when the game goes, I need to draw a box, and it asks the console to draw a box, the emulator grabs that code and goes, haha, actually, let's ask Windows to draw the box instead, and report success. The game carries on as normal, and Windows is the thing that draws the box instead. So that's how all essentially that's how all sort of coding in general works. You ask one system to do something, and that system might ask multiple other things to do things. Like Unity, I ask Unity to make a box, and Unity will tell DirectX to draw the box. DirectX will tell the graphics card to draw the box, and it just hands it down that right place. So in this case, Unity could be an emulator where it's emulating my code to work on whatever I tell it to program to. I tell it to write for Linux, for Linux, for Windows, for Mac OS. it changes the code to work for that thing. That's how emulators. I'm assuming. I've never looked how an emulator works, but that's how it's got to kind of work. You know, the game itself. You know, you pull the trigger on something. Yeah. You pull the trigger on a game, and it's got to make a bullet and a flash. So the game will then tell the Wii, for instance, the Wii U will go with the Wii U will go, hey, do this, and then the Wii's API will go, yep, I can do that because I know what you want to do. Okay, you have told me to instantiate this bullet, so I will make the bullet. The emulator then just goes, aha, you want the Wii to make the bullet, but we're not a Wii, we are a Windows, so instead we will tell Windows to make the bullet instead, and then put it exactly where you think it is. And yeah, so that's my understanding of them. At least anyway, that's my understanding of them. Right. So yeah. So anyway, where are we? So yeah. So this here, I cannot call an instance. I cannot call this the singleton, a mono behavior singleton, from an I system. It's not allowed to work that way, which is fine. Not a problem. Okay, because this code used to create a mesh and then display the mesh as a game object. Now it doesn't do anything with the game object anymore. How does Windows, a CPU, GPU, whatever, how does it know how to create the bullet for a game in a different system which the emulator is emulating? Because of the emulator. The emulator is the middleman. So imagine it like you've got three people. You've got one person who's asking something, another person's running backwards and forwards between the person asking and the person doing, and the person doing does the thing. The guy in the middle is the emulator. So instead of it, the game telling the actual console to make it, calling the API in the console, the application program, so yeah, the game doesn't know what it runs on. The game just knows it calls an API. It says, like in Unity, Unity has a whole game object.extend. Where we've got it here. So create entity. I call the entity manager and I tell it to create an entity. That calls the entity. Now, if the entity manager was being emulated, you'd still call create entity and you'd return an entity. You'd still get the same thing back. But what this is doing, this code has no idea what this is doing. It is just asking for an entity and it gets one back. So if you instantiate a bullet in the game, for instance, the game says make a bullet, it calls the API and says make me this bullet. The API does the work and then returns the bullet to it. So you ask somebody, hey, go and make me a bullet. He goes off to make a bullet and comes back with a bullet. You don't know where it came from. You don't care where it came from. You've now got your bullet. And then you can fire it out the gun. The emulator will then take that middleman and go somewhere else and tell Windows to make the bullet and then return it back to him. So then the emulator translates stuff. So the emulator is doing the whole thing with it. So that's the idea of it, is that instead of it just calling one application layer of the console, it's calling the Windows application layers. It's just pointing stuff to a different direction. There. So yeah. I think was it the burger one was one that says so. You tell somebody you want a burger, they go off and get a burger and come back. You don't know where the burger came from. Did they make the burger? Did they buy it from McDonald's? Did they buy it from Burger King? You know, you don't know where the burger came from. You just know you've got a burger. That's it, or a coffee or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I know of Dolphin. I know it's not just a Wii emulator, is it? Doesn't it do Game Boy stuff as well, Dolphin? But I don't know anything about the code behind it at all. Dolphin. It's a GameCube Wii emulator, so I thought it was a Game Boy emulator. Runs on ARM as well. Runs on your mobile phone. Nice. Nice. Okay, so that's cool. Do I know? I know of the Wii. I don't know any console programming stuff whatsoever. I'm not a seasoned developer by any stretch of the imagination. I've played with things and done things. I know about the glide one was one that got me because I was always I know the Wii console, the reason I know about the way the emulation works is because of an old technology called Glide, which was back in the 90s for the old Voodoo cards, and it could take DirectX and it could have them run natively on 3DFX Voodoo cards, or 3DFX cards, or not Voodoo, 3DFX cards, and it ran better than the software DirectX. And it was called a wrapper back then, a Glide wrapper. It basically takes the DirectX code and wraps it to run 3DFX Glide. You can run the Wii menu in the Dolphin. In Dolphin, yeah. Isn't Dolphin, from what from guess on what other emulators do? Dolphin is like loading up a Wii, and then you load the game into Dolphin. Yeah. So, I guess because there was old Game Boy emulators and stuff that used to do. It would load up, and EPSX, which was the old PlayStation and PlayStation 2 emulator, it would load up the PlayStation main menu, and then you tell it to mount a disc, and it would thought the disc was put into the drive and then start loading the game. So yeah. Although dumping the BIOS of things is a bit questionable, the legality of it is a bit. Yeah. Right. Okay. So this thing no longer does anything. I don't know why this is calling. Wait a minute. What am I done? I've done something wrong here. I double tabbed here, and this is auto generated code. This is wrong. What do I think of the Switch 2? I don't think it's worth the price. And that's purely from a technology standpoint. It's not the big ginormous leap that some consoles do. It feels more like a mid-range jump up from that. So. But it'll get better in time because more games and more bits and pieces around with it. So I will probably end up getting a Switch 2 at some point. I'm just definitely not going out there. I'm just absolutely not going out and pre-ordering one. So yeah, that's the British. Well done. Ahoy! I mean, it's England's an island of good potato. Yes. You want some water? I actually pronounce the tea in water. I'm from the south. We speak the Queen's English down here. Well, the King's English now because the Queen's dead. Yes. So yes, we say water. We're not from up to north. We go water. Bit of water. I want a bottle of water. No, a bottle of water. Yes. You probably heard lots of Northerners and they say water. Us Southerners actually do pronounce words, but we say things differently. Like we We say path and bath rather than bath and path, which is really bizarre. It's really, you end up going half up country and it's path because there's no R in it, and I know there's no R in the word bath, but I still say bath and path. So yeah. And dance, you got dance and dance. Regional dialects in a country that's smaller than a lot of American back gardens. Right, this code is entirely wrong because this is getting the component the mesh renderer, which it can't do because it can't. Yeah, you should not be getting the component mesh renderer. You should be looking through the material buffer. Material buffer I dot material entity dot name. Material name is equal to name, then return name, otherwise return 0. Okay, this needs to be its own thing. Thank you very, very much for the follow. Thank you, thank you. But this bit of code needs to go somewhere else. Like, I need a switch.api.ui. I don't know why it's API. It's application layer interface. I know it's not ALI. What is have I missed? Application programming interface. No, application layer interface is a networking protocol. Ah, right. Yep. Yep. Okay, that's why. Okay. So yeah, so right, okay, where was I? Right back to the start, right at the start. We cannot call this here. We cannot do this. What we need to do instead is we need to add one of these. We need to create and add one of these. This needs to be a buffer element, doesn't it, realistically? We add this to the buffer, and then we process the buffer and get it back out again. The problem is, how do I do that? How do I get it out of the buffer to get it back to here so that Ghost, we can get it from that? So I can't call the instance of a mono behavior. Can I call So we need to change this up. So this make function here is the stuff that makes all of our things. It makes everything and spits out 3 sub meshes, which is a little awkward, but that's okay. Let me Google this one here. Oh yeah, Twitch is changing its APIs, isn't it? It's depreciating the old one and doing, yeah. It's weird they're calling it a software development kit, which is odd because it's not Twitch hardware. Yeah. I have been trying to figure out exactly what I want to do here with this. So we create multiple sets of meshes. I don't know if I need to do this now. No, I do need to do this. Yeah, and I'll do the same. I'll pretend I know what I'm doing. That'll work for both of us. I wrote all this code, and it's doing a thing. It's kind of, a lot of it's manual coding, but it has to be. I need a way to call this function from an IO system. So I need to, right here, instead of doing instantiate, no, this may work. This may work actually. Right, so we instantiate a prefab, and then we can add components to it. So if I was to add one of these to it with the information on it, we can have a system that looks for this iComponent data. If it finds it, it deletes it, so we're going to make one of, and then it generates all the stuff and does it all on this one here, which would be beautiful. And then that would return a ghost. And then the ghost thing would automatically do everything with the children, which is fine. The only problem no, wouldn't be a problem. Because instead of instantiating the old building prefabs like we were doing, we can just instantiate the parent one and add the data to it a second time. So I no longer have to have all this. I know I had to rewrite the building class. I knew I had to rewrite the placement class anyway, because the project has moved on from its old settings. Right, okay, so I need to make this an IO system, which we did before. Now let's close that out. Scripts, procedural. Procedural object make tag. I don't need that because we're going to have procedural object data. I don't need those two. Wanderer, hello, good evening. 2 episodes of Allbound. Oh, nice, cool. You've seen the tutorial stuff. Cool. Right, so this is. I don't need those two. Okay, we just add the parent prefab tag. That's it. What does the parent prefab have on it? Prefabs. Parent entity had. Yeah, we only need the box collider. That was it. We didn't need anything else. Yeah, I'm enjoying Allbound. I am very much enjoying Allbound. I've found I've found Cubic Odyssey is I'm not entirely sure if Cubic Odyssey is going to hold my interest, if I'll be honest. Not because it's a bad game, but just because, God, is it a slow game? Oh dear. But I think it's a slow game because in the same way that Minecraft was a slow game when you first started playing Minecraft. It's like, oh, I need to go and find like gold ore or diamonds or something, and I don't know how to go and do that, and you got to figure it out. Whereas now I know exactly how to find it, and I know what levels to go to and how to do stuff with it. So maybe Cubic Odyssey will end up in that vein. I think it'd be more fun when we get spaceships and stuff later on, but apparently it's coming out on was it May 14th? Cubic Odyssey was coming out. May 14th, Cubic Odyssey is going to be released. Apparently not going to release into early access, just going to be released directly. I'm confused as to why my mesh isn't showing. Shaded wireframe. Yeah. I'm doing one episode okay, so they've changed this. So shaded wireframe mode no longer shows the Okay, I want both of those. I want hang on, that's shaded wireframe mode. That should be both of them. Why is that not showing? No, whatever. Manage function, yeah, manage function cannot exist. That's okay, we know better. Need to close all of these out for a moment. It's fine, okay. This is now beta. procedural object data. It's still got object. Okay, that's fine. Right. So now I want to go procedural object creator. Let me copy the word procedural because I've been damned if I know how to copy that. Create new entities, iSystem, procedural object. Create a system. Oop. Oop. Okay. Whoa, go back. Get rid of that. So I want to go into. I want to grab this guy. I want to grab any other system, please. Because I need to remember what this here is. So, so I need state dot required for update. Let's remember this. Let's try and remember this. I've been so mucking about with required for update. Procedural object data. Okay, so you need a procedural object data. Right, cool. And then I think I'm going to do this in the on update function of this one, not run it as a job, because that's just going to cause me extra work if I have to run it as a job. So, procedural object data, data equals system API dot get component I need the entity for that, don't I? Get singleton entity. Try get singleton entity. No, because there might be multiple procedural object datas. Ah. Yeah, how do I? You. Just made your own query. That's the one I'm. With all, is that a thing? Haven't I done this? Haven't I done this somewhere else? I feel like I've done this somewhere else and I'm forgetting what I've done previously so many times. No, because you're a... Oh, doing it in a job would make life so much easier because the job can call stuff on it. You don't actually need any of that stuff. That is just purely to be sent through. The actual maker doesn't need anything. I also don't know if I need to apply and dispose of the rock mesh because I'm meshes and then I use the meshes here. No, I think I do need this, don't I? Yeah. The problem is that if see, this is the right. Okay. So this one is only set to make. All this does is make a socket. That's all we're making right now. I don't know how to do it. Then we also want to make a, yeah. Entity query builder. That's what I want to do. With all object data. Build. ref. Nope. Can't cover Unity. Entities query to entity query builder. Oh, because you should be entity query, not entity query builder. Entity query dot. Each entity query. Nope. No, I need to do a for each. For each, how do I do a for each on? Oh god, I am iterate over data. That's what I want to do. I want to iterate over data. Dot. It component. No, I need to. My. it's something I've done before, and I don't remember where I've done it. And I don't remember. You create. I'm doing it all in jobs. A job would be beautiful because a job can have the entity and all the bits and pieces, which is fine. So that's a system based doing entities for each. That's not what I want. Because I don't know what the entity query is. Tendency, calculate. Iterate over. Oh, that's the only thing is all the examples I'm finding that do with iterate over data do it all in a job. I don't want to do it in a job. That's the problem. query. Hold on. Equals new entity create builder allocator.temp. Hello, allocator temp. Our job is just temp. Dot with all read write. Not really read write, I just want with all. I think this is what I was for. Procedural data dot with entity access. No. Dot build. This I don't think works now. I need reference state. That's fine. Okay. I suppose I want to do entity array. This is where I was getting wrong. See, I want access to the procedural data, but also want access to the entity. Because I don't know how many of these things are going to exist. Like, we might make more than one per frame. I don't know. But I want to give it the option to be able to do that. Excuse me. By right route, it's not what I need to do. Hello, good evening. I hope you are having a good day. Entities equals crew dot entity array. Sorry, I'm a little confused. Allocator.temp. A little confused as what I'm doing here. Right, so we've got our entity array, which is all of the stuff here. This will only run if any of those procedural things work and exist anyway. There might only be one at a time, but there might not be one. There might be multiple of them. So I don't want to do a system API.get singleton because that will not exist or work properly. So you do this, and then enum, I don't need to do an enum. We can just go actually, let's change this dip on here. Public bool is socket, okay? Internet Primrose is socket. Okay, so if it's a socket, we know we have to do one thing. If it's not a socket, it's a chip, we do that. This will probably have to be expanded later to add more stuff, but right now that's all we're having to do here. It is also midnight for me here as well. But this is one of those things where I've done this before and I remember doing it, but I don't remember how I did it. So I have to look up stuff and I'm not finding what I wanted to find. The stuff that I'm looking up, this isn't what I remember doing before, but it does the same thing. But I can't remember where the thing was before I was doing. So yeah. So yeah, I've confused myself. So I want to go procedural object data equals system API dot get component. I think it's get component data, but I'm going to get component procedural object data entity. There you go. Okay, so now, so what I want to, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to look over every object in my game that has this data type on it. I want to get access to the data type, but also I want to get access to the thing it's attached to, which is the entity. So I need to basically find every entity that has one, and then from the entities pull the data off of it. That's the ordering. I was doing things wrong. The thing I was thinking of was when you do it in a job and you can just add, you can add the entity query and the component data all to a job at once, which I could still do. The problem to doing the job is that then I'd have to have, I mean, I don't know whether you can I don't know whether I can you call a job from a job? Can you call a job within a job? Apparently you can. Non-degree, yes. I'm glad. But hopefully you're learning something. Hopefully you're learning that programming live when you don't know what you're doing is a really dumb thing. But that's how you'll get better at something. You challenge yourself to do things you've never done before. Right, okay, so we got the data. But there's a couple of things I want to do. I want to run this here. So if data.pinrows yeah, you can yeah, I have no issue with that. Vidal, cool. Wow, yeah, I am nowhere near Vidal's or Vidal, depending on how you want to do it. Nowhere near that. But yeah, I've seen some of the although I must admit, some of the coding stuff that he does, I now have a much better understanding of. I still don't understand it entirely, but I have a much greater appreciation of it now. I've done it myself. Now I've done stuff and I have created code like this, and I know what all this does. And it all makes sense to me, and I can point to it, and it makes, yeah. So I have much greater understanding of how of how Vidal's done his large language model thing there. So right, okay, so we do a failsafe check to make sure that the actual data is valid. Well, I mean, let me try and explain a little bit to you, at least anyway, to see if you understand this. So in computing, in 3D graphics, I should say, in order to draw something, it must contain of certain things. A thing on the screen must contain it, and they're all called polygons. You probably heard the term polygon. A polygon has 3 vertex, which are basically 3 different points in 3-dimensional space. No, one here, one there, one there. Let me bring up my fantastic art skills. If I can type the word paint, that would help. Oh, flash. Let me do this here. So you have a vertex, and a vertex is a point in 3-dimensional space. This is going to be 2D, but it's 3D. So yeah, in order to draw a polygon, you need 3 of them. You need point 1, point 2, and point 3, and then between those, you tell it that you go, a polygon is between this point and this point, and that becomes a polygon. That's your polygon. So that's the shape there. And obviously there'll be, if you create a 4th one over here, you can create that, and then all 3D shapes are made of 3 points that make a triangle that go into the world. That is what I'm doing right in here. So if I come down here let's go to this one here. So you see here, these positions are all vertex. So this position, this one here, this tells the program where in 3-dimensional space to make a point. So it creates point 0, because all computers start at point 0. It's not derailed the stream. It's fine. We've had that already. We've had Sansi was talking about her emulator to start with, so it's great. Yeah. So point 0 is so pin rows. We get it. They are coordinates. Yeah, they are coordinates in 3-dimensional space. Point 1 is another place. These pin rows and this we're getting from how big our chip will make. So it's probably easier to look at this one here actually. So this is point 001, and it's X, Y, and Z. So the Unity engine, you can see here, if I look straight up here, we have X is along left and right, Z is backwards and forwards, and Y is up and down. So that tells it from the 0 point, and the 0 point is roughly here in 3D space. And it goes out that way, where to draw it from. So it's going to start right here. It's going to be 1 point across, and then point 1 is going to be 1 point up, but it's 0 by 0, and then point 2 is at 0 on the X, 1 on the Y, and 1 on the Z. So there's your 3 points. I'm doing the 4th point because we're making boxes here. And then the triangles will go from point 0 to point 1 to point 2 and make the triangle. It connects these 3 here and makes a triangle. And the order you do them in matters, because if you do them clockwise, then this face will be facing towards you. If you do them anti-clockwise, the face will be facing away from you. And you can only see faces that are looking at you. If they're looking away from you, they tend to be see-through in most games. So yeah, so that's it. And this whole code is basically just it's creating a series of points and a series of triangles to create a thing. I don't know if I can actually, no, I can't actually enter player mode to do it, but why can't I do that? What's wrong with this? What do you expect? Oh, play. So we have a thing here, a test mesh. I can tell it how big on it. This is the pin size and pin rows. So if I say it's 5 by 5, hit play, and I press space. There it is. There's the model that we made with that procedural mesh. It's a 5 by 5 mesh, and it's 5 by 5, and it does that. And it's each one of the probably not really going to show it very well. If I go into that mode, no, for some reason the wired mode isn't working properly in it, but as you can see from the grid, each one of these is a square. So when I made this square here, it was this point makes one triangle, and then this one makes another triangle, and that's the top of it. And so each one of them is all made from that. And that's what all this code does. All this this code with the points and things, all this, the positions, makes that, depending on the size that we do. The reason I'm doing it this way is because I want to have the user to be able to create chips of whatever size they want. So we can say, I want the chip to be 50 by 5, for instance. Hit space, boom, there you go, you've got a 50 by 5 one. It creates it, yeah, it creates it dynamically, I should say. So yeah. What's this moaning about now? Creates a query on update. Creating queries. Yeah. So that, yeah, I'm probably not explaining it very well, but yeah, that's what it's doing here. So it's taking in a set of positions. You see the lower left position, the lower right, the upper right positions, and then it's then calling a function to basically add all them together and put the triangles together and do all the bits pieces, and it creates a chord. This one creates a triangle because it only takes 3 positions instead of 4 in three-dimensional space. And that's what all this code does. It does all these positions that I've had to kind of manually figure out a lot of the offsets and things for, creates that box. But that little box can be then sized to whatever size you want to make it, so that in the game, when you say, hey, I want to make a processor that has 10 pins on the X and 10 pins on the Y and then 3 pins deep, so it will end up with 90 pins on it, you can go boom, and it does it. And I don't have to then make the model for each and every single item in the game. It can all be done dynamically. So it's yeah. But what I'm getting at there is that it looks very daunting, but if you go back and watch the streams where I do it, you'll see I do a little bit and figure that one out, and then do a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then eventually you get to the point where you've made the whole thing, little bits at a time. So you say it goes over your head now, but everyone has the capacity to learn. So yeah. Right, okay, so what is my, so creates a query during onUpdate. Please create queries in onCreate and store them using onSets. That's fine, but how do I update the query? Create an entity query. That's what we're doing. Okay, hold on. So we put this up here. We create it here, and then when we call this query.toEntity, it builds it. So it refreshes every time. So yeah. I'm Adam Fox. Hammer Fuchs. Hello, good evening. Currently been watching episodes of Oddsbox. Oddsbox is a great game. I don't know how far you got through it, but I do stall at one point when I decided to rebuild the factory. But we're going again. We're going again now, so there is more coming. Oddsbox is a fantastic fun game. It really is, and that's getting a big update coming out soon as well. 1.0 is coming out. Well, there's no date for it, but soon. But yes, yeah, Oddsbox is a great game. It's such a different take on the factory building game. It's like you've got conveyor belts, but they're not conveyor belts. They're creatures that carry things around and run around on a conveyor belt. It's such a good concept. It's just, I just love it. It's fantastic. So what I want to do is, instead of make, I don't need to send these in here. I don't need to do this. We'll do the thing here. We just need a list of meshes, don't we? So you are right. So we create the meshes and then we bind the array to the meshes. That's why. Okay. Okay, right, and then the mesh data array goes away. Right. So if I say here, if data dot is socket, copy this, go down here, paste it in here. This is going to go mad on us, which is fine. Don't worry about it. We don't need to send in that. What we want to do is send in the cathedral object data. Okay, and then go through and do the, oh no, we don't need that because that's already been checked earlier on. So you are skipping over loads of stuff in here. What are you doing? Undo. Undo that all the way back up to the top. Delete that. Place pin size with data dot pin size. And then pin rows with data dot pin rows. Okay. And then we come down here. What's wrong with this? So you are missing create quad, which is fine because that is here. I need to copy those two as well. Put those down here. Oh, no, that's fine. Create quad, create. Get rid of that. Okay, that's all working, except you don't return a mesh. So we come down here, and we go return meshes. Okay, and then up here at the top, so this is going to be make socket. So I want to just go make socket. So can I do that? Unity engine mesh to native array Unity engine mesh. What do you need? You want a mesh array, so I don't want to be using a native array here. I want to be using just a standard mesh array. I don't know if that is burst pile compatible or not, but see if that's burst compile as well. This one and this one. Okay. The meshes no longer need to be the same length. Don't need that anymore. You don't need the world default game object, but I don't want to modify this one. I want to copy this one. And this only has one error in it apparently, which is quite nice. A new spawn job. Ah yes, I wanted to take this out of the job thing, didn't I? So we don't want to do a job here. Get rid of that. Okay. Get rid of all the entity component system. We don't need the prototype anymore either. Are you instantiate the prototype? Yes, so no, we do need the prototype. Undo. destroy the prototype. That's fine. Right. So, what are you doing here? You create an entity. You want a materials array and a mesh array. You don't need the materials array anymore. You don't need the we don't need those. Because we should be able to send in system state. Oh, we need the entity for the render mesh array. And that's okay though, we can get the entity for the render mesh array. Can't use the system. Get shared. Don't know if we can do that. Nope. So I want to get the what did I do here? Render mesh array was this guy that just has the one and a quad generic on it, doesn't it? Yeah. Render mesh baker script, which adds the render mesh array tag, which we did on purpose so that we could get this going. So I can just go system API dot get entity query, get singleton entity. You can get rid of that one as well. That filters that down. Cool. You want to do that. You don't want a material. We just want to add the mesh, the single mesh to it. I'm gonna have to find a way of tagging it with that guy. create a random description. That's fine. I don't think I need the entity command buffer because I'm not doing a there's lots of vars in here. I don't like that. So Coraline, hello, good evening. We are making a factory game that takes place inside a computer. Is the idea. I'm currently trying to transfer my mono behavior to an eye system to help us later, and it's not going very well. Prefab. That's going to be here, isn't it? Yeah, that's in this spawn job one. So I need to copy this out and put it in here. I need to change some things up with this. So get rid of that. We don't want that to be great. Yeah, the concept of the game. Sorry, I wasn't being very descriptive there. Essentially, it's going to be imagine Factorio, but your assemblers are like your processor and the graphics card. Your belts are the bus inside the system, inside the computer, and you take contracts. And the contract has something like, hey, I want you to do 1,000 calculations, 1,000 mathematic calculations. So you take them and it ends up in the memory, and you have to belt it from the memory to the processor, have the processor calculate it all to do all the processing, and then move it back to the memory to complete the contract. But then you'll get like another contract later which will say, hey, I want something that has 3D graphics on it. So you've got to then make your system go so it goes out to the graphics card instead, which run things, and in order to research new things, you're going to have to spend energy researching something that doesn't give you energy back, because the contracts will give you energy, but the research won't. It will give you new technologies. So that's the idea behind it. That's the whole. So you do a contract to get the energy. The energy runs your computer. You choose where the processor goes and where the graphics card goes, and if you want 10 graphics cards, or if you want 15 processors, or whatever you want, you do it there. But because it's like Factorio, the belt spaghetti is going to be the important thing. Because obviously belts can't. You don't want to have belts connected into belts, because otherwise data will go to the wrong place. So yeah. It's I'm sorry, I'm being very not descriptive. I'm trying to get my head around what I'm doing here with this. Clone the prototype, which is this guy, but I don't know if you can. Now, why is this thrown wobbly? Can I convert local transform to component type? is that because you've used... Look, what the hell is that? Look. Apparently it's not valid. Yeah, that's because we need to send in parent prefab. Well, hang on a minute. What did I do here? What did I do here? So oh, I don't think I want Unity transforms. Or do I? No, I do want Unity transforms. So what's this wrong here? Char, thank you very much for the follow. Add component. Right, so the entity command buffer does stuff differently, doesn't it? Right, so I need the entity command buffer. Okay, I get you. There we go. That's I don't know what this is. Yeah, I do need to use Instagram, so get rid of that. What's wrong with this? Oh, we need a parent entity, don't we? That one. Not prefab, that should be parent. Let's see. I don't know what this compute transform is. There's no description of it as well in the we add a local to world to it, we instantiate the local to world, and then we set the component with the compute transform index. Why did you get the index from? Sorry, you don't speak English. Ah, okay. Well, welcome in, and I hope you enjoy your stay. I'm very sorry. I speak two languages, English and bad English. That's it. That's it. You translate. Oh, I know what this was for. This was so that when it creates them, or the entities, because it's supposed to create multiple entities, it moves them across in X by 1 every time. So we don't actually need that. This can literally just be translate to 0. Stay at 0. Don't move. But then I set the local transform and I manually set the position anyway. But I think I need a local to world and that. Okay. Oh damn it! I'm in the wrong. Minimum trip. Right, so get rid of the index. Get rid of the index. Set to 0. There we go. Right. Okay. On to Spanish. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy watching. At least, anyway. Did I destroy the entity? Do I destroy the entity inside? I do inside the full loop. Okay, so we're creating and destroying 3 entities and then duplicating the entity 3 times as well. Why? I think I have to. I think I have to create it with the entity component, the entity manager. Here. And then we instantiate it, because the created entity is blank and doesn't have any stuff that we need in it. Yeah, and then I need to use the entity command buffer to do the thing here, which means I then want to drag these up, I think, put those here. Nope, I just need to not play back the entity manager because we're using the state one. I want to dispose of the entity component buffer, which is weird. So I'm doing that 3 times. That seems a little excessive. Yeah. I am from the UK. I am from England. Good old England. Oh yes, yeah. We're at that point right now. I also really hate when I've done this and it goes, "Hey, this file needs saving." I'm like, "What did I change in it? I don't remember changing anything in here, and I shouldn't have changed anything in here." But I'll leave it for the minute. So if it's a socket, we create the meshes using the make socket. If it's not a socket in CPU, we have to do another one. But I need to manually change the vertex attributes in that to build something else, because we have a different thing when we create this as CPUs. We'll do that in a minute. That's fine. That's going to be a lot of figuring numbers out. Then we want to create the entity. No, create entity children. Okay, So I want to go create entity children. State meshes, and the parent prefab is going to be the entity, because that's why we've got the entity here. That must be sent in with a reference, sorry. Right. And then we go state dot entity manager dot remove component. Procedural object data entity. So it only runs the once. Okay. I will save that. Then we come back here. It compiled. Hey. Right, okay. That's still wrong. I know that's wrong. That's fine. Let's go to our placement system now. Scroll. So here, rather than do this, okay, digital object. Yep. I want to go state.entity manager.add component. Post new digital object data. Is socket equals true? What's wrong with this? Yeah, I can about data, sorry. Is socket equals true. Pin size equals new int2. Let's go 5 by 5. And then pin rows is going to equals 1. Component data box create system burst error. Boxing value belt game but is a managed component and is not supported. Data box components data box creation system. Uh, 117. Is the is the has flag boxing value type data types is a managed yes, it's got the flag system set. That might just mean I need to disable burst on this one script. No, that would mean this whole thing would have to be burst. stopped. Which, do you know what, actually? Does it matter? It's one. Excuse me. Wow. It's one script. Yeah, we don't want burst compartment here. Let's get rid of it on everything. Okay, we're not doing burst compartment. This script does not have burst compartment. It's not a burstable script. Future object creation system burst error expected. Try to remove. Well, that's because you're not running at the moment. You shouldn't be running. Okay. Right, so my old ones still work fine now. Parent entity doesn't have the tag. Okay. Why did it not have the tag? What did you do wrong here? I should turn you off as well. Payment system. Why did this not work? Why did you not add this component? Let's get rid of that one for a moment and just see whether it is adding it or not. Oh, hello, what's going on with this? I don't want to add the burst compiler attribute. That's the reason I took it off the data box. Component data box creation system. There is no burst compile. We disabled it. Go away. Sorry. I missed that. Okay. Don't burst compile the job. You can probably burst compile the rest of it, just not the job. Procedural object creator. Well, excuse me. I think I muted myself in time then. Oh, coughing like mad. Right, what's wrong with this? Unexpected error approaching the function. Try to resolve unity.mesh after IL type system has been frozen. I think I'm guessing this error is because this is trying to run. When it shouldn't be running. Like it's trying to run in, I don't know, yeah. Right. Push space. Pause. Right. The parent entity is not getting the thing added to it. So this is not running. It's also not moving. It's also not getting the ghost tag added to it or anything at all. However, it is. Why is that not working? Oh, do I need to? Do I need to do it via the component entity component system? Maybe. Nope. Nope, you're still not getting the thing added to you. Right, why is that? Yeah, it's not tagged, it just goes to data. Ah, hold on. So if I push space, the parent entity appears. Procedural object data. It's got some procedural object data on it. It's here, right? Okay, but for some reason, this isn't running. I wonder if it's because the query builder isn't running. Oh, hold on. Can I build or can that be entity query builder? Huh? I don't want to build it though. That's okay. So dot persistent. Right. Very confused. Right, let me go back down to. Let me close that one so I don't get myself confused here. Let me do that again. Remove the component. I might have to turn off the all the way down. Okay. Okie dokie, have a good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. Right, so this is running. Right. Unnecessary assignment. Unnecessary assignment. Yeah, okay, so you probably aren't needed, you are correct. Then what we've got down the bottom here, what's wrong with these? Member can be made read-only. Can I suppress that? So annoying, this member can be made read-only. What does it matter if it can be made read-only or not? Huh? Local function can be made static. Why does that matter either? Okay. However, this is not running. And I think the problem with it is this creating children. I think this does need to be jobbed. Which we can't add the parent. So if I hit play, I push space, and then I scroll all the way down here. Nope, I don't see the entities down there. It's almost as if it's not making them. I'm definitely calling that, right? Yeah, create entity children. And I definitely did say in here that it is a socket. So this should be firing true. Right. Children doesn't like being burst compiled. I might have to get rid of that. It just might not work with the burst compiler. Okay, you say you are done, but I do not see in the list 3 new entities being created. Next socket is not supported. Oh, this might not be compatible with a burst. I might not be able to burst this job either. Make socket is not supported. Why is make socket not supported? Probably because it's doing a mesh. I should probably not make this an iSystem, should I? This probably should have been a system basis one. But I should get rid of the burst compile of the entire script. Because I think meshes are managed components, which means this might not work in an iSystem at all. version of the entity component buffer. This is not firing. But I might need to make this into a job again. It should actually be fairly simple. It should just be a case of that. Then parent entity goes in there. Generate tests for burst compatibility. Now I'm getting. I need to. Oh, burst is running again. Let's try and put burst compatibility. All the things again. See if Unity loses the plot. Okay, so you definitely don't like the create entity children one. Is that right, or is it the make socket one? I'm not sure. Let's unburst compile the make socket. $31.13. Ah, right. Okay, hang on. So it's there. It is indeed being created. Awesome. Okay, I just don't have a damn clue where. Oh no, there it is. Hey, it's there. Right. Okay. Cool. Right. Well, just tell me why it's not being attached to the mouse. So I can't have the make socket, which makes sense because it's dealing with the mesh system, and the mesh system is a managed component. It's not out, but it is working. It is indeed working. I can get rid of that. Okay. Oh no! So this is still trying to wobbly here. unexpected unknown function 30. You know, I'm not doing. I'm not disposing of my native array. Then on destroy, I want to get rid of query, don't I? No, you're still trying to wobbly. Thirty 31 3013 is there. Something to do with this native array. Maybe the update can't be burst compile either. Because the native array, maybe? Yeah, the update can't be done. It's complaining about the native array. I don't know if these can or not. Let's turn that back on. I don't think this make socket one can because it deals with a managed component, but multiple uploading flat for buffer. Yeah, that's because I was running a burst compile thing with a burst compile thing. So, okay. So right, we are one step closer. Placement system. You don't do something here because setup ghost is doing something different, and I've missed something. Ah, this. I haven't added the ghost data to it, so it doesn't know to move it. Okay, let's see whether burst compile still works here. Lock right buffer for byte. I don't know. That's an internal Unity error. That one. That's not me. That's an internal entity graphics system update order. Yeah, that's not me. That's not me. That one. Right. So apparently I can burst compile the make socket. The issue is this. With the burst compile, it doesn't like a native array of entities. So maybe because I have to run it every time. I think burst compile is trying to generate code, and it can't pre-generate this because it doesn't exist until this is created. So we can't burst compile the update. I'm not too fussed about burst compiling things. I don't think I need that for this creation thing because we're not going to be creating 100 things every frame. It's literally going to be every time you press a button to generate something, it will appear. So it's there. It's moving again, and it's rotating. Beautiful. And if we go over here, it should turn red. Yep. And then green and red and green. That's doing the thing. I still can't get to place it, but that makes sense because the placement system's invalid. That's a Unity error as well, but that's a me Unity error. So if I have this up I have to push escape to get rid of it before I stop the program, otherwise I will get an invalid operation. Entity query cannot be disposed. Oh, okay. So we'll just get rid of it and destroy then and not worry about it. Okay. I don't think we got this actually, because I can. Got a make socket. I then want to also do a make chip. Right. Okay. Now, right, there is one other thing we need to do which I haven't done properly yet, and that is going to be in here. Where are we here? So submesh 0, go away. Oh, hold on. Submesh 1 go away. And submesh 2 go away. Okay. That shrinks down my code a lot there. Thank you very much. But the bounds, this here, where are we creating the bounds? Here. Right, so we're creating the bounds. That's fine. The problem is I need to tell the parent object what the size of the thing is. So we create all the children. Can I get the underscore mesh array 0 dot bounds? Right, okay. What is the bounds? It is a bounds dot is a vector 3. The extent of the bounding box is always half the size of the bounds. Bounds.size, the total size of the box, is twice as large as the extent. Okay. So I need to the parent entity has a box collider on it, doesn't it? Physics collider geometry. We need to edit this geometry in the physics collider. Okay. The physics collider component. How do I get that though? Do I get the physics collider? State dot entity manager get component data physics collider dot value dot Uh, etch. I want to set the collision filter. Modifying collided geometry. That's what I want to know. All colliders can be uniquely transformed with runtime, scale, rigid body through the collider.bake transform method. Not very helpful. There is apparently a. Hold on. Can we do? Resizing colliders at runtimes. Right, hold on. Wait a minute. There's a collider.bake transform. What's this? Doesn't take me anywhere. The link doesn't take me anywhere. However, apparently the Unity dev just switched on the bug I found out. Oh, nice. Less bugs, more fun game time. Yeah. On the Unity documentation, collider.bake transform doesn't exist, so that's helpful. Through the collider specific geometry parameters, that's what I want to do. I get the box collider. geometry equals, what do you expect? Geometry dot meshes 0 dot bounce. Oh yeah, of course. You want that uses parameter get component data. No box function physical data component data. So is it just a get data, get component? Oh. Hold on. Right, what do I want? I want I'm looking through the Unity physics examples, which I have all downloaded. Modifying collider geometry 5GS. Let's go to the physics examples. Oop. Which I have because I use these a lot. Because it's not so easy as setting the box collider on the prefab, because the box collider doesn't exist once it's being generated. So yeah, so I'm looking for 5 wait a minute. Oh no, modify. Box collider size, that's the one. Collider type. Motion type. Contact type. Okay, so hit play on this one. Oh, I'm in the wrong hierarchy. Sorry. This one. Oop. There's the geometry. Okay, so this is doing it. This is doing the thing. Right? Okay. Now, how is it doing the thing? Because the problem is runtime collider. Collider creation, runtime collider geometry. Don't save. So this is changing the runtime. Don't save. Okay, so it's randomly creating stuff. Right, okay, it's not. Box collider size. This is the one I want. I want just the box collider size scripts. Can you become smaller so I can read these here, please? Change box collider size authoring. Not sure why your public class with nothing in it arises from bond behavior, but okay. What's the authoring script? So they put it all in the one place. Awesome. Thank you very much. So much easier for learning when you do this sort of thing. Make sure we're dealing with boxes. So this is an iJob entity which is getting a physics collider. With this dot. That's where I was going wrong. Box collider. Okay, so the collider type needs to be box. We know it's a box. See, these stars mean this is unsafe code. Require matching queries for update singleton. Nothing tells me it's. Grab the box pointer. We should target size and then geometry. Tweak the graphical representation of the box. What now? Collider PTR dot center, no. Dot value dot center. Value dot center, no. Right, what are you doing here to modify this thing? Collider.ptr. I thought the star, when you do a coding, means that it's unsafe code. Yeah, it is. Tweaks the physical representation of the box. This approach affects all instances using the same block density. You cannot simply use this approach for instantiated prefabs. If you want to modify prefab instances independently, you need to create unique block assets at runtime. Dispose of them when you are done. Yeah, that's unsafe code. There's no value dot. It's a base transform there. Collision type, memory size, mass properties. Pointing fixed passes may only be used in an unsafe context. I don't know. Void. It's not his geometry, is it? Oh, that's not fair. How do I... do. Let's just create a new physics collider and add it to it. Equals new physics collider. Add you. Oh, hold on. No, I need to let's create a box collider. Equals new box collider. What's wrong with you? Right. I want to go geometry equals what's in here? Collision types, geometry, material, and type. Oh, okay. Here we go. Enter equals float 3.0. Size equals size. Okay, and then we go entity manager add component data entity comma box collider underscore entity. Unity physics dot physics collider equals new physics collider value equals oh, hang on, blob. Never done blob asset stuff. Blob assets reference unity dot physics dot collider collider equals unity dot physics dot box collider create box lowercase box collider. No. I don't even need to create the box collider, I just need to create the box geometry. And new physics collider value equals collider. Oop, I don't know whether that's going to work or not. I might have to get rid of the current box one that's on there or not. We've got 2 errors here somewhere. What's this? Material is ambiguous between physics material and Unity engine material. This one wants to be Unity engine material. Okay. I really want to suppress. Okay, ignore it, it's fine. Or with this one. Remember, can we read only? It's just annoying. So I then want to come up here and I want to go settings, ref state, entity, meshes 0 dot bounds dot size. I think. There is only one way to find out. First is really struggling with my code. Oh. Yeah, so you get the old box collider and you do things. I'm just trying to create a new box collider. Yeah. Right. Okay. So what? Hang on, hang on. So alien 000 is not valid. Parameter name geometry. Line 56. What's wrong with this? Level radius equals 0. Orientation equals and dot identity. I'm gonna have to fill in all the stuff for it. All the stuffs. But it's there, it's still not centered. The geometry is correct. Right, okay. That's fine. Nope, that's still incorrect. Okay, so it's definitely rotating around the 0 point. Okay. Right, okay, so it is colliding with that. But it's also not colliding with that. So it's half by 0.1. So the size is correct. The center should be halfway. Okay, so the center should be 0.3. Size divided by 0f, comma, raised. Okay, but the problem is that the center of mass the point I'm rotating it around is invalid. It's also throwing wobblies now that it's in the ground, which makes sense because I need to actually move the center up to halfway between the two. So the physics world is fine. It's just the actual I wish I could see the rendering debugger. What's this? Is there any way you can show me the selection where? Oops, sorry. That's gizmos. I want to see the box collider. Mass properties doesn't matter. Position, rotation. Oh. Mass distribution transform could be a thing. Belongs to the right thing as well. The collision filter belongs to the right one. Oh, hang on, I'm looking at the wrong one. This one. Belongs to everything. Belongs to, yeah, okay. So the position says 0.5, 0. Okay. Let's change this back to be underscore size times 0.5f. Not sure why it's colliding with something now. Is that in the floor? It might be colliding with the floor because it belongs to the wrong stuff at the moment, which is fine. I wonder if its collision box is because it should pause for a moment. It should belong to 9 and collide with nothing, I think. There we go. Okay, the problem is as soon as I leave that, it's not actually doing the proper collision on the full sized thing. What's your collision data? You are 22 by 5. However, you are scaled with 0.1, which means your geometry is actually, that's going to be 0.5, isn't it? Which is the same as this one. So that's correct. The sizing is correct. Not unique. This has to be unique because the way it is. Your mass is 0.5 by 0. I don't really think that matters. Okay. What if I made it 1, 1? is so weird. Okay, it changes from green to red. So the raycast is working on it. I bet that the reason it's changing from red isn't because I'm colliding with the thing. It's because it's not a valid socket for it. Right, okay. So cancel that. If I go 1 again, go to the ghost, scroll down here, get the collision filter. Belongs to 2. Does nothing right. I think I've got it to the wrong one. Parent entity. Yeah. Belongs to 2. Applies with nothing. Nope, that's still. That is weird. How could you belong to 2? I with nothing. Oh dear. No, I messed up. That's right. Have you got bots colliders on you? No. Render filter. You have a world render bounds. Do you have a world? You don't have a world render bounds. Do you have a world render bounds? No. You're not a physical object. Okay. Right. If I change your collision filter to none and none, okay, you'll be green all the time and then you just turn red because you aren't compatible with that socket. But if I then say you belong to 2 and then try and put you in it, you should fail with that, but you don't. I think I know how to censor it. Like, do I know? Because it's not. I can't edit the center of mass either in it. Why? Why? Okay, so you keep the rotation from whatever you've done. Okay, hit play. Let's go down to here. Right. I think the reason it's there is because the center of mass for the thing is sorry. Yeah, the center of mass for the chip, or the center of the chip, is indeed in that corner, and it's building out from that corner. But I thought that changing the geometry size, or geometry this here, the center, would affect that. But it appears that that is only affecting it's not affecting the center of, it's the physics collider. I need to somehow affect the center of mass. To set the pivot point on a mesh. There is an easy way to do this, but I'm not doing it now. It's 20 past 2 in the morning. I think I'm going to leave that here for the minute. What I need to do is down here, I need to offset all the positions of the vertex by half of the chip size. The bounds are correct. But you don't use the bounds of the mesh. So you did originally. Oh no, when we created an entity it never did it? No. Oh, let's see. I change your scale. You scale up from that corner, right? So I either need to move the geometry and offset it by yeah, how do I do? Before I set this, I need to go through the index. Create quad, create triangle is going to be the best way to do this, and it come into here. So you get the vertex data. Oh, can I just do that? Can I just get the vertex data and iterate over all of it? Or int I equals 3. Mesh data 0. Don't get vertex data. Oh, this isn't going to work. I need to full stop length pulse dot pulse I dot x minus equals in not a variable. Crimson, hello, good evening. I hope you are having a good day.
hate that hedgehog.
Okay. And then I need to minus pin. So, where's the pin size? Oh, data.pin. Go away. Data.pin size x times 0.5. And then I need to do the same here. The y. Not quite right. Oh yeah. Got to scale it down, haven't I? Should I do some homework? Okay. I'm about to give up tonight. Sorry, it is 3:30 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. So I'm yeah, I should probably be asleep as well. Oh no, this won't work. The positions are different on each size, aren't they? Yeah. Undo. Do. Oop and oop. 1, 2. There we go. We are now centered on the tiles. Beautiful. Let's go to our procedural thing just very quickly. Placement system, and let's change this from being a 5x5 to being an 11x7, just to make sure it still works. Look at that, beautiful. And it's all snap into the grid beautifully. Awesome. All I've got to do is go in. Now I know about the physics collider thing. Here. This thing. We can also set the layers and stuff probably using this. We just have to get the blob asset. I've got to remember about the blob asset references, which I keep forgetting about. Okay, right. That has been done. Okay. There you go. So I need to add all the materials to the material buffer, because we don't need to know, and we don't know when we create this, we aren't sending any materials into it whatsoever. So I need to find a way Yep, we can do that. We can do that. We can get that and get the children and set that all up there. I could probably do that in the parent. We're going to rewrite the placement system because it's not right there. We're going to generate everything at launch at runtime, which is hopefully fine. I really hope this mesh time stuff works at runtime. Let's find out. Let's build the application and see whether it works at runtime. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to go home and cry. And I'm already at home, so I'm halfway there. We will see. But we are going to do this one for tonight, and we will come back tomorrow with some more Final Fantasy. That's the plan. I'm having some time things and stuff changed at work again, so there might be more stuff later on there. Oh, hello. Nope. Buildable object SO GUI does not exist in the current context. Okay. What? Oh, this isn't going to be needed anyway. So, but I can't do that like yet. So, okay. So yeah, I need to rewrite the thing there, and then failed to compile player scripts. And then it's just throwing a complete wobbly with the specified hierarchy node subscene does not exist in the hierarchy. I know. No, go away. You can stop there. There you go. Let's re-import, unload, re-import, unload. It's rendering though, so that's fine. Okay, right. Save, close, blah. So yeah, okay. We are definitely getting closer. It's now rendering completely as an I system, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. So that's I really wanted to get it working in an I system rather than being in a model behavior. Anyway, so that's good. That is good. That is very good. Yes, it is. We just need to set the materials to work, which should be a problem. Shouldn't be a problem either. So, yeah, materials is easy. The materials is actually easy. I just need to go around and check the building system. Yeah. So yeah. Hey, there was one point where I was more rendered than the game was ever. So. Anyway, we're going to leave this one here, and we're going to come back tomorrow with some more Final Fantasy. As I said, from next week, stuff is changing in my work things. So instead of Tuesdays being my free day, Fridays will be now. So that's, yeah, maybe. I mean, Tuesday my free day, and I don't stream early on Tuesdays either. But I might on Fridays, because I don't know. We'll take it as we go, because I haven't made up any of my mind yet. So yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I have just dragged something on Windows that's just gone bling, and I don't know what that is. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and I do hope to see you again in the next one. And until then, as always, have fun.